Hello, welcome back. Today's video is crazy. It involves an adult wearing diapers, so that, if nothing else, should keep you here right up until the end. You may have heard of this story before. It was in the news not that long ago and there was a film based loosely around it. This story is about the female astronaut Lisa Nowak. Don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing my NASA hoodie in honour of today's video. I already owned a NASA hoodie, I didn't buy it specifically for this video. Imagine if I just wore a relevant costume for every video. I should have gone all out really and wore a spacesuit, shouldn't I? Just no commitment. Lisa Marie Nowak was born Lisa Marie Caputo on May 10th, 1963 in Washington DC, and she was raised in Maryland. Lisa was first interested in space when she was 5 years old. She watched footage of the moon landing and the astronauts and thought it looked really exciting. Growing up, she wasn't your typical teenager. She was hyper-focused. She was a perfectionist and she excelled in everything she did. Her dream was to walk on the moon and be an astronaut, and she was always focused on that. Lisa graduated from high school in 1981 and entered the US Naval Academy in Maryland. And in 1985 she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Lisa, being female, wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms into the academy. It was still in the early days of women being accepted onto these courses. And with female students in the lecture theatre, the professor would stand at the front and say, "I don't think women belong here," which must have been so demoralising and infuriating. It's winding me up and I'm just telling you about it. But Lisa persevered and eventually became a naval flight officer in 1987, and I hope when she received that qualification those professors were stood there watching, hating every minute of it. Screw you guys. While she was studying at the academy, Lisa met Richard Nowak, her fellow classmate. They decided to get married and start a family. In February 1992, Lisa had her first son. A month later, she earned a master's degree in aeronautical engineering. Then that September, she earned a degree in aeronautics and astronautics. In 1996, Lisa made it through the very competitive selection process to become an astronaut at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, and in 2001, she had twin daughters. That's 2 degrees, a master's degree, an astronaut, a wife, and a mother of 3. I got both showered and dressed today. Thank you. At this point, Lisa has got it all. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's got the career she's always wanted since she was 5 years old. She's preparing for her first mission into space. People used to call her the Astro Mom. She's just in a really great place in her life right now. But then on February the 1st, 2003, the Columbia shuttle disaster happened. The Columbia shuttle was on its return mission when it disintegrated upon re-entry and was completely destroyed after a piece of foam broke off and hit the ship's wing. The disaster killed all 7 of its crew members, including Lisa's best friend, mission specialist Laurel Clark. This hit Lisa hard, but whilst she was helping other people grieve, she wasn't grieving herself. This spilled over into her family life. She was not seeing them very often and she wasn't taking care of herself either. In 2006, Lisa's dream finally came true. She went on a mission to space on the Space Shuttle Discovery. There was some tension in the group as this was only the 2nd mission since the Columbia disaster, but everything went well. Lisa was a mission flight engineer and operated a robotic arm during spacewalks. She was in space for a total of 13 days. Now we're going to jump back in time to delve a little further into Lisa's private life. In 1996, Lisa met Navy Commander William Olfine. They trained together in the NASA Space Shuttle program, but that's all they were, just classmates and fellow astronauts. William was known as Billy O. He was a notorious player and the women flocked to him. He was an astronaut. 2 years before Lisa went into space in 2004, Lisa and Billy O became close on a training mission for surviving in extreme cold temperatures, and shortly after they began an affair. Now we're back to the timeline in 2006 and Lisa has just come back to Earth from her space mission. How mad does that sound? As if some people leave the Earth to go to work. After her mission is over, there isn't any missions coming up for Lisa. The shuttle program's winding down and there's lots more astronauts waiting in the wings to replace her. So Lisa's not sure where her career is going, her marriage is failing, and she and Richard decide to separate. Lisa assumes that she's going to have a future with Billy after the separation, but she gets more bad news there. Billy O, our notorious space cowboy player, has found someone else. A woman called Colleen Shipman, a 30-year-old US Air Force captain and engineer. Billy tells Lisa he's breaking up with her as his relationship with Colleen has become serious. Billy's under the impression that the breakup goes okay. He tells Colleen that he thinks Lisa was disappointed but accepting. As it turns out, Lisa definitely was not. Lisa used a key that Billy had given her previously to gain access to his apartment. She then logged onto his computer and read all the emails between Billy and Colleen. Now, it's never going to go well reading emails between your ex-partner and their new partner, especially as it looks like there was some crossover from Lisa to Colleen. So now Lisa is jealous, emotional and angry. She hasn't been eating, she hasn't been sleeping. This woman is used to being an overachiever and now her life is spiralling. After going through Billy's emails, Lisa finds Colleen's travel plans. Colleen is due to fly from Houston to Orlando on February the 5th. That's when Lisa decides to make the 900-mile, 14-hour car journey to confront Colleen. Before setting off, Lisa does the one thing that makes her name famous worldwide. She stops off to buy a pack of diapers so that she doesn't need to make any pit stops on her journey. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, I'll give you a moment to let that sink in. In the early hours of February the 5th, Lisa arrives at Orlando International Airport. Colleen, who'd been visiting Billy, lands at 1 a.m. at the airport. She waits a few hours for her luggage, which is delayed, and then gets on the shuttle bus to ride to the car park. On the bus, Colleen notices a suspicious-looking woman, but she doesn't think too much of it. She gets off the bus and starts to walk, but the woman gets off too and starts to follow her. The suspicious-looking woman is Lisa, but suspicious how? Lisa was wearing a dark wig, sunglasses and a trench coat. It's as if she'd watched a 1950s spy movie and thought, yeah, that's the outfit for me. That's inconspicuous. They'll never see me coming. Lisa follows Colleen to the car park and Colleen quickly gets into her car. Lisa starts banging on the window saying that her boyfriend hasn't turned up and she needs a ride. Colleen's already freaked out by this woman wearing a really inconspicuous 50s spy movie outfit and doesn't let her into the car. Colleen offers to call for help and winds down the window a touch. It's at this point that Lisa attacks Colleen with pepper spray. Colleen is able to drive away quickly and calls police. The police arrive quickly and spot Lisa, who's still in the car park. She's trying to get rid of a bag. Inside the bag is her wig and a BB gun. They then search her car and find more worrying items. Investigators find hundreds of dollars in cash, printouts of personal emails between Billy and Colleen, the pepper spray, a knife, rubber tubing, duct tape, gloves, a mallet, large rubbish bags and a computer disk that holds bondage instructions. Her car also contained the diapers. When police asked her why she was there, Lisa said she didn't want to hurt Colleen, she just wanted to talk. Now, when I've gone to see someone for a talk, I haven't taken pepper spray, a mallet and a knife, but maybe that's just me. Colleen didn't recognise Lisa immediately, but when police gave Colleen Lisa's full name, Lisa Nowak, she realised who it was. It was Billy's ex-partner. After the attack and finding all of the paraphernalia in her car, Lisa was charged with attempted kidnapping, burglary and assault, making her the first active duty astronaut ever to face felony charges. Later it turned out that luckily for her, Lisa had not been fully advised of her rights, and so a police interview would be inadmissible in court. So in the end, Lisa was charged with burglary and misdemeanor battery. I say lucky for her because she could have faced up to life imprisonment for that kidnapping charge. Of course, once the press heard about this case, they went to town, especially the detail about the diapers. Lisa's face went global in the press and on TV. She was given names like Astronaut. Pictures of her as a successful career woman were put alongside a picture of her mugshot. Navy Captain Lisa Marie Nowak appeared in court. When police arrested Lisa, she claimed that she just wanted to confront Colleen, but prosecutors argued that this was a well-thought-out plan to harm Colleen and that she knew exactly what she was doing. The prosecution tried to prove their point by presenting the items that were found on Lisa at the time: the mallet, the tubing, the knife. But Lisa's defence objected, saying nothing other than the wig and the pepper spray were actually used in the attack. Lisa said she had the other items because she feared Colleen might become violent. I'm not sure I'm buying that one. When asked about the diapers, Lisa testified that she was not wearing the diaper, but that it had been in the car since an evacuation drill during Hurricane Rita more than a year before. She said at the time she'd used one because she could not get into a hotel. But when she was arrested, she said that she'd bought those diapers to use them so that she didn't have to make pit stops. But of course, her statements to police were rendered inadmissible, so it doesn't count. Colleen was then given the chance to describe her experience. Since the attack, she said she still fears for her life, has nightmares, anxiety and other medical problems, and has bought a shotgun and has a concealed weapons permit. Colleen asked the judge to sentence Lisa to jail time. She said Lisa is a great actress and an accomplished liar. She said, "I know in my heart when Lisa Nowak attacked me, she was going to kill me. It was in her eyes, a blood-chilling expression of limitless rage and glee. I believe I escaped a horrible death that night." Lisa pleaded guilty to the 2 charges against her, felony burglary and misdemeanor battery. The judge, taking her status as a first-time offender into account, gave Lisa 1 year probation, community service, counselling, and told Lisa to write a letter of apology to Colleen. Colleen, of course, was not happy with this sentence. She genuinely believed that Lisa was going to kill her that day. And because Colleen was able to drive away, we'll never really know. In one of her only public statements about this case, Lisa issued an apology to Colleen outside the courtroom. She said, "I know this has been very hard for Colleen Shipman, and I would like her to know how very sorry I am for having frightened her in any way and about the subsequent public harassment that has followed all of us. I hope very much that we can all move forward from this with privacy and peace." NASA, of course, cut all ties with Lisa, and a board of inquiry was made up of 3 Navy admirals, and they agreed that she should be separated from the service and have her service characterised as other than honourable. But should NASA take some responsibility in all of this? Before this happened, Lisa clearly wasn't in a good place. Her friend died in a 2003 mission and she never really recovered. At the time, Lisa would have known that asking for help with her mental health might have jeopardised her space on the mission, so there's no way she would have risked that. She'd worked too long and too hard for it. By 2006, her marriage was failing. She'd just come back from a space mission she'd never get to repeat because there were so many astronauts waiting to take her place. Combine that with getting rejected for another woman and she just fell apart. This woman was used to overachieving. Although a lot of media attention was mostly on the diapers, this case did force NASA to look at their mental health awareness within their organisation. Astronauts do face rigorous psychological testing at the beginning of their career, and Lisa would have had that in 1996, but she didn't get any follow-ups after that. Because of this case, NASA now has annual psychological screening for all of their astronauts. So, where's Lisa now? Well, Lisa was, of course, ordered to stop all contact with Bill after the arrest. She was married to her husband Richard for 19 years before all of this happened, but they divorced in 2008. Today, Lisa lives in Texas. She works in the private sector and is said to live a pretty private life. Not much is known about her today. Colleen and Bill ended up getting married in 2010 and moving to Alaska, where they had a son together. Colleen says she still has anxiety to this day and is always looking over her shoulder. Lisa succeeded in getting her criminal case sealed in 2011, but I don't think anyone's going to forget this case anytime soon. The story of the female astronaut, the love triangle, and of course, the diapers. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this crazy case. It's nice to cover one without any actual deaths in it for a change, to be honest. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I've got lots more videos planned and I'd love for you to stick around to see them. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Colleen notices a woman who looks